So we're going to look at how to deploy an Azure Kubernetes service clusters using Azure portal. So these sections we're going to look at deploy Azure cluster using Azure portal, run multiple containers and applications, and monitor the health of the clusters. So these things we're going to do now. So this is one of the applications. We're going to deploy this one. We're going to create this one as well. Let's have a look at the prerequisites. So you have prerequisites. At first, we logged into the portal and we're going to create a cluster. We're going to create our Kubernetes clusters with these specifications. For example, we need to have our subscriptions, research group, name, region, and availability zones. And after that, node count, we can deploy one node. And these other things, we'll leave it default and we're going to create our clusters. After that, we're going to connect with our cluster. And we need to connect with our cluster with bash. To manage Kubernetes cluster, use Kubernetes command line kubectl is already installed in your Azure PowerShell. So this is a tools we need to use this one. This is same like a PowerShell. This name is kubectl, kube controller, or Kubernetes controller like that. So once you go there, then we'll be able to open bash. Once you open our bash, we'll be able to do some configurations. After that, we're going to create our resource group, and then we're going to get the nodes. So these nodes will be from our cluster, and we'll be able to see whether that node is ready or not. When node is ready, we're going to deploy one of the applications. So this application is written in YAML files. So you're going to deploy. So is all the coding and everything is done in here. So we'll just copy this coding and put in our kubelet. After that, we're going to apply that one. And we're going to test the applications and see whether the applications is running properly or not. So once the application is running properly, then we'll be able to see these applications. But after that, we'll be able to see some monitoring steps. Okay, so these things we're going to do now. So you'll follow these documentations, then it will be easy for us. So at first, we're going to create these clusters. So provide you this link as well. Okay, so you can use that link. Now let's configure this one. So at first, I'll go to my portal. Oops. Okay. So at first, we're going to start with select containers, Kubernetes services. Create Kubernetes clusters. So that's how we're going to start. Kubernetes services. Okay. So at first we'll click on Kubernetes services and create Kubernetes cluster. And we need to select resource group. So I'm going to select my resource group, which is RG10, and name it my cube cluster. East US availability zone 123, Kubernetes version this one. These things you leave it default. Right? Zone you leave it default. Size you can leave it default, that's fine. And scale leave it default, and node. So currently 3 nodes, but we can select only 1 node. Node pools, we don't have to do any configurations. Authentications, who is actually accessing these authentications, we can manage from here. Networking, network will be provided by this Kubernetes. Integrations, tags, review and create. Mostly we need to specify how many nodes we want. Create. So I'm creating my Kubernetes cluster. So it's under deployment. So once it's done, then we're going to connect at first. We're going to open our bash. Under deployment, it may take a bit of time, but once it's done, then after that, we're going to connect with our cluster. And if you'd like to connect, we need to use these bash tools. Once we connect, then after that, we're going to configure a few things. So, oh, still. So once it's ready, we're going to connect. Once we connect, then you're going to use this command to get the credentials. Credential means to connect over there, we need to put our username and password, or some kind of like authentications is required over there. So when you apply this command, we'll get connected over there. And then we're going to check the nodes. We have only one nodes, and after that we'll see whether node is ready or not. Once it's ready, then we're going to run our applications. Okay, so once it's running, then we're going to logged in and run these applications. This is one of the voting applications, small voting applications, I think written in YAML, is a YAML file type. So mine one is ready. We can see that overview, it's created, Kubernetes services, networking, all this pod, service, DNS, Docker, so everything is created automatically. Now, once it's done, then first thing we're going to click connect. And when you click connect, then we need these authentications. So you're going to open this Cloud Shell. We can open actually in here. You cannot have two instances, so I'm going to close. I'm going to use the same page. At first, we need to create storage account in order to use this Cloud Shell. Actually, I need the second line. This is the credentials. That's what we need. So once it's ready, then I'll copy this one. I'm going to paste over there. So it's saying PowerShell. I'm going to select bash. Yeah. Now right click and paste. Enter. So it's connected. So we actually did the second one because first one is saying subscriptions because we already part of this one. So we just need the second one. So let's have a look here. Yeah, first thing we connected now. Second thing, we're going to verify the connections to your cluster using kubectl get command. So I'll copy that one and paste. So I'll check the nodes. So it will show me that, show me the node informations. So you have only one node. Yeah, this is the node. Is ready. This is the name of the node and is ready. Version number is this one. So that is good. So it's ready. After that, in this node, we're going to deploy our applications. So our applications is this one. This is written in Python, but saved as YAML file. I'll copy the entire file and I'm going to save this one. See, there's a so there's a upload and download file, or there's a another locations, not this one actually. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. See, there's a curly bracket. So just select the curly bracket and paste the entire things. So please click on curly bracket and paste your all configurations, Python configurations. After that, you're going to save this one with this Azure vote.yaml, this file. So I'll copy this file, azure-vote.yaml. We're going to save the file in this name. So I'll click on this, right hand side, there's a 3 dot button. Click on save. Is asking the file name. I'm going to say azure-vote.yaml. This is the file name. And then going to save. So this is already saved. So this is done. So we save this one. I'll go back. After that, we need to deploy this one. So we saved that one, that's fine. Then we need to close this window, close the editor actually. So if you click on this right hand corner, there's a close editor button, click close. Once you close, then you get your this steps. Now we're going to we saved our file, now we're going to do the deployment. So how to do the deployment? kubectl apply-f, and this is the file name. So we're going to deploy these files. Paste, enter. Now these applications we are deploying, and it's done. Once it's done, then we go to, this is the output we got, right? So it's created. So our application is up and running. Now we're going to test the applications. When the application runs, a Kubernetes service exposes the application's front end to the internet. This process can take a few minutes to complete. But to monitor the progress, we can apply this command. So copy. So we want to see this service. Right click, paste, enter. It will provide us the your public IP and all these stuffs. Like our applications we now deployed, it will provide us the details information about that. So this is our external IP, that's what we need. Once you got our external IP, we can, one is cluster IP, that is a private IP. External IP, that is the public IP. So you can copy this one. And after that, when you run this one, we'll see this kind of applications. So I'll go to any page. And hit enter. Look at that. This is the applications. So this applications is up and running under this public IP. Let's say if you want to put a board, cats, 1 board, 2 board, 3 board, but dogs may get only 1 board. So this is simple boarding applications, but this is running under our cluster in here. So after that, once it's up and running, you'll be able to see the monitoring health and stuffs. We can check monitoring insights. You'll be able to see whether our node is running properly or not, applications is running properly or not. So now if I go to my portal, so these things we don't need anymore. And this one we don't need anymore. This is my Kubernetes cluster. If I go down, then I'll be able to see all the systems. Insights. So it will show us those services, they're up and running. So little CPU utilizations, little memory utilizations related with applications. So there are many different things we can see. Reports, nodes. This is our nodes and it's working properly. Uptime and stubs, you can see some informations. Containers. So there are some containers we have in here. Deployments. Right, so pretty much from the monitoring tools, you'll be able to see your stubs, your pool, and all these things is up and running. You'll be able to see the statistics around that. So it has some details, informations. Yeah, you can see from here as well. You can see the configuration details, networking part. So Kubernetes, this services, Kubernetes cluster service, this is the management services. With that, we can manage and maintain containers. We can deploy applications, and pretty much after that, we'll be able to monitor those applications. So that's how we do these configurations.